Yeah, I should probably do something about that. I've got Jgiusti on the line here. He's got his Cosmic Crucible defense that he's going to go over with me. We're going to be doing a few of these calls. It looks like a lot of people want to talk about Cosmic Crucible, the new room arrangements, and help me out with my defense by showing me some of their stuff. So, Jgiusti, how you been, man?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just got done with the last round of Cosmic Crucible
Yeah.
and trying to stay in Masters, which is not the easiest thing,
Oh, I bet
especially
not.
with the top pushing really really hard and making it even a slimmer small. I think there's less than 150 people that are in Masters right now.
Oh,
So
wow. So
yeah.
you're in there with the big boys, and they're really throwing punches too. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
now, how much better is that payout up there in Masters?
So I would say Masters is not. You go for Masters because it's fun. You don't go for rewards. There's a gap between what is it, Diamond and Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
That change in rewards is a lot and noticeable, but Masters is just not. It's just a lot more work.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yep. The size of
And
your roster. Yeah.
and to be in Masters, do you have to have pretty much everything, all the top meta stuff unlocked?
I would say everything has like. Yeah, there's like you have to have Dorm. Like there's no way that if you do not have Dormammu, like you have a chance
Mm-hmm.
to stay in the top, because a lot of the top people, what we're doing is we're throwing at least Darkhold and probably Unlimited on defense, and like Wakanda Doom, all on defense. And so Dormammu unlocks the fact that you can then pair Dormammu with, like, let's say Infinity Watch or
Mm-hmm.
Weapon X, and you can take that Dormammu Weapon X team and beat a Darkhold with it. So,
Okay.
and that's really important to be able to do.
All right. So this is your defense that I'm showing on screen. Walk me through it. What's your reasoning for all these teams in your placement? Because there's some stuff here that I'm not going to be able to do or not be able to do it at your level, at least. My fat head's in the way of your
Yeah,
hero Asgardian team there. So
yeah.
tell me about it. Start with team number 1 and 2.
So 1 and 2 is honestly these are just placeholders. I just kind of toss whatever's in there. So I just got rid of Web Warriors because obviously they're getting throttled now
Mm-hmm.
by Bionic Avengers, which you don't want something that's just an easy win. Um, so Asgard and Black Order have this tendency to be a little bit of RNG, especially if you pump up Thanos on the Black Order.
Mm-hmm.
People get surprised by his ISO double tap. It's actually happened to me with against a Thame. I was fighting him, and his double tapped my Thanos out of existence, and I almost lost the match.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
I've noticed that when I try to like do a mirror into Black Order, sometimes that's exactly what happens. You underestimate the Thanos on the other side, and there's just so much damage coming through that your Thanos dies.
Yeah, and so those are just placeholders because I mean you got to think the next two teams that we're going to have are going to replace at least two out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Web Weavers and Gamma are just going to kick whoever's like at least two slots off your Crucible teams.
Now, you've got on your hero Asgardian, you've got Thor right in the middle. Now, why are you putting Thor in the middle? I would think you would want you'd want Thor out of the way off to the side so that the other hero Asgardians are getting hit, putting charges on Thor.
So that team is actually the trick to that team is actually killing
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie first.
Yeah.
You, because you need to know whether or not she turns everybody up or not.
Okay.
And so that placement is just kind of to see where it goes because honestly, it's either going to get completely nuked by like Weapon X or by Eternals,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going to try something fancy.
Do you see that uncanny with Beast coming into it in Crucible?
No.
No. Oh,
I haven't seen it.
somebody turned me on to that one, and I've been using it a lot. I was kind of blown away on stream how well it worked. Everybody's telling me that at like sub-million levels, don't even bother trying it. But around like a 600 level Asgardians, it might be very effective. Also, you've got Mighty Thor next to Sif. I would think that she would kind of be a hot target, and you might want to put Heimdall next to Sif for the splash damage because he's a little bit more inconsequential. What do you think?
You're probably right. I mean, honestly, that team is just one of those. I'm just throwing it there and making it grow. Like
I'm putting way too much thought into your like afterthought team.
yeah, that's because that team right there was Web Warriors up until a week ago,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
so I literally just switched it because I was like, well, at least this one has a chance to win, but it got crushed every round. Because of the, I mean, you have to think in Masters level, these defenses are really small.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last match I had, I faced somebody who had a million and was it 1,300,000 dorm hold that had I think 3 members G17'd.
Wow.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
You're punching up against wallets. You know, that's
Yeah.
what's happening there. So take me through critical mutants. You've got Bishop in there in place of Sunfire. How come you didn't replace Phantom X instead?
Okay, so Phantom X gives you evades, which you need to survive. Then bringing in a Zemo.
Okay.
Well, you're wanting to force them into a Zemo. That's why Bishop is there to begin with, because what you want them to do is to bring in Zemo, make Dazzler speed up, so that she can create RNG for the teams that come into it, right? Because you can mirror that with Unlimited, or you can bring in Weapon X with Emma and Shang, and that's the team that I see beating it.
Okay.
So it just creates RNG, because if you speed up the Dazzler and she somehow comes around and just ability blocks their rogue, then they're screwed.
Okay. I think it's really cool that when you get into these higher leagues, everyone's using, like, you've narrowed it down to the best one or two counters. And so you're looking at defending against one or two of those counters rather than just putting in some stuff that may or may not trick people, because everybody knows what they're doing in Masters. Everybody knows what they're doing in Masters. So it's really getting down to a finite chess match of who you're using and why. And I think that's the most interesting part of the game, is the strategies at that kind of level.
Yeah. And then on that side, I've just removed Axe Candy off that spot because people are pulling the Web Warriors off, and Web Warriors crush. We forget about this, but they crush Axemen. And so my Axemen were getting crushed by Web Warriors.
No, and don't the Axemen kind of get crushed by the Bionic Avengers also?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think the Axemen's days in Crucible are pretty much over. I don't see them being used on offense for much of anything. So, okay, let's go on to Mystic Amplification. You've got, I mean, this is kind of a standard thing we see here in Mystic Amplification. That we see this exact team a lot. This seems to be the hot sauce. What do you like about it? What are you hoping you can catch with this?
So the reason that Hella's there, and I actually switched this to Drax like a little while ago, I've been debating about the two of them, is just to slow down. Hopefully Kestrel hits the Greg so it speeds up Cloak to do his thing. Because the biggest thing is Cloak can just annihilate you. And then at my level, what you're seeing a lot of is actually a hybrid of Night Nurse. I just don't have this, but it's Night Nurse, Moon Knight, and White Tiger.
Okay.
With the two new warriors. The reason why, if you knock if you knock Moon Knight in the corner too low, the Night Nurse will actually speed up the team or kill them up. And then if Cloak goes, you just lose.
I see.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. And I'm not using my Shadowlands for anything. I might give that a whirl and see how it works. My Hela isn't big enough to be used here, so I would have to do something like a Drax to draw the opening move or something like that. But I have never had nothing has ever worked for me in Mystic Amplification. Mine has always been rolled over every single time, and I've tried a lot of variations on this specific team that you're using here. It seems to be an inconsequential room at my level. So let's go to the Cosmic Catastrophe. Let's see. Here we are. Cosmic Catastrophe, room 5. You've got your Darkhold in there with Red Guardian.
Yeah. So you're just trying to avoid the mirror, and you're trying to the RGs just to avoid the mirror or to avoid the Unlimited coming into it. And avoiding the Dormammu counters. There's about 3 or 4 Dormammu counters going around right now that will beat Darkhold in any other room.
Yeah.
Darkhold's still probably the most dangerous defensive team because it plays smarter than Unlimited does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
now, what would you use to beat this defense?
So that defense, I would use a 2-tap. So Weapon X would probably be the second team coming in. It depends on what I need it for. So I would use either iWatch or I was using Black Order just to kill the RG and then follow up with Weapon X. You just need something that lives long enough to survive that special from MLF and kill the RG. That's your 2 goals for your first hit.
Okay. Sounds simple enough. It drives me nuts that you guys have just accepted that 2-tap is the way to go up there. I can't, when I have to 2-tap or I fail, once, I just can't stand it. I want to do 6 attacks every time. I don't even care about how efficient I am. I just don't want to lose. That's a terrible mindset to have too, because it's a whole different ballgame up there in Masters.
Well, in my matches, I think in the last 9, I've only had 1 come down to efficiency. All the rest have been attempts.
Oh wow!
So either I did 1 less attempt than they did, or they did 1 more attempt or 1 less attempt than I did.
I see.
To win.
And are you averaging 7 attacks total?
No, I've been it all the 2 knucklehead. The 2 you have to deal with is Unlimited and what is it called? Darkhold.
Yeah.
And if Darkhold is in 5, I usually go 7. If Darkhold's in any other room, I usually go 6.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And then you got your Wakandans and Doom in the skilled batteries room number 6. Some people were putting Dormammu and Wakanda in here. Do you think Doom? Tell me about this one. What's your thoughts on it?
Dorm versus Wakanda?
Yeah, no, I mean, because we see the Doom Wakandans and we see the Dorm Wakandans. I think the Dorm Wakandans is a waste myself. I think there's like keeping Dormammu for offense, for one, is probably the way to go. How do you go into this Doom Wakandans?
The Doom Wakandans, you usually go in with iWatch and you pray that Okoye doesn't rewind your Atom. If she rewinds your Atom, you're screwed. That's usually how that fight goes down. Okay. Because if your Atom can go first, and then he'll AB block Doom, and then you're and then iWatch will just outlast them. With Dormammu, see, I don't like that because you can come in there with a big team and just big swing. And Dormammu's so pivotal on offense right now because you combine it together to beat like the Unlimited team or beat a Dormhole team or and if I was to leave it on defense, I would leave it with iWatch actually.
Okay.
Because iWatch is so tanky that when they have that extra revive, they're such a pain in the butt to deal with. And their skills are a lot more controlling. Like Adam can randomly just AB block somebody, or Moondragon can rewind you. So I would rather run them with iWatch because of that. Yeah, they would create a lot more.
Now on this one, you've got Killmonger going before Doom, so he passes energy to Doom, and Doom does his ult on turn 1, right? Yeah. And that's why it's so pivotal that you make sure Adam Warlock can get in there before that happens.
Yes, because if Doom goes off, then you're probably going to die.
What's your kill order for Infinity Watch coming into this?
Doom, then I would go Black Panther, Killmonger, and then by that time the fight's just kind of over.
And you don't have to worry about hitting Doom and dropping him low on health, though, right?
Yeah. So you don't go in for the first 2 hits. You just kind of whiff. You go after, let's say, Black Panther,
Okoye or Black Panther, yeah.
And then you wait to the AB block, and then you tunnel him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's. Is there anything different that you want to do with your defense? The entire defense that we talked about here. Is this your cutting edge lineup?
I mean, as I said, the first 2 because. There's a lot of room bonus changes that's happening pretty soon.
You're probably a tinker too, aren't you?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we're replacing the Gamma team's going to replace somebody,
right?
Because the Gamma team is going to be strong enough, probably to at least knock out like Unlimited because you could probably mix them with Weapon X. They have the kits to do it so that they can actually beat either Darkhold or um, Darkhold or
I,
Unlimited on offense.
I'm looking at that kit from Red Hulk and that passive that he's got, and it looks absolutely bonkers to me. I don't see that team having trouble with anything anywhere, honestly. Obviously not in war. I mean, they're nerfing war because of that team, but I don't see them having a problem in Crucible either. I don't know what room we'll put them in, and obviously I think the changes are coming when that team comes. So we don't know what we're going to be doing with that team. And I have a feeling that the changes to the rooms are because of that team. Just like they're nerfing war, I think they're going to change Crucible in preparation of that team, because I mean, that battlefield damage stuff, that's no joke, man.
Yeah, and it creates a lot of problems, and his kit in particular. You can also see him being on being put on Darkhold just for the fact that he did get extra health, so he's even harder to kill. So you can see that on defense. You start seeing the whole trio being mixed together on defense.
Hey, what do you think of my 7 red star She-Hulk on that Gamma team? Is she going to get replaced with somebody? And what ISO should I be using on her? Because I really want her to be worthwhile. That was such a painful experience, spending $50 unlocking her and having 7 red stars, and everybody makes fun of her. So what am I supposed to do with her?
So in war, she's going to be a tank.
So I should keep her as a fortifier?
Yes.
Because she's basically there just to strip those negative effects and throw them back, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you're going to get probably the most out of healer with her. Because the way that she has a large health pool.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get defense up or minor defense up. So you got to remember that fortifier is kind of wasted until they get that level 5 where they get that drain, I think, mechanic.
I see. Okay.
But then
I think I have 2 ISO settings for her. One is fortifier and one is healer. So I'll switch her back over to healer for the time being. I just hope that if we're combining them with other, like a Weapon X Gamma thing, I hope that I get to keep her on the field. I really want her to be one of the pivotal characters so I can be like, haha, I got 7 red stars, but she's probably going to get put on the sideline. I don't know.
Putting her combined, you're probably keeping LDS and Omega, and you're probably taking the new 3.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe Hulk over.
Well, I think we need Hulk because when Hulk's on the field, it provides immunity on spawn or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. But I think She-Hulk's going to get benched pretty quick, and it's just going to be more of an embarrassment to me. Hey, let's look at some of these other picks you sent me. You've got this save squad right here, which is the unlimited team unlimited with Dormammu. So what did you want to tell me about this here?
Oh, so this is just kind of the idea that hybrids are beating everything right now. So that team right there will just one-shot literally anything, especially Dormhold.
Yeah.
That team will just crush them.
And is there anything people can do to stop this? Like, can you do a Dormhold with Red Guardian somewhere or something and, whittle it down to the 3 Darkhold members or something, and somehow, is there any, there's no stopping it. This is your end-all be-all team right now?
Yeah, that is probably the most potent offense team without like just doing something crazy like pulling MLF and replacing Dazzler with MLF, which would just be weird. And
right. Really, yeah, you got to keep Darkhold together to use it.
Yeah. That's probably your strongest offensive team, and then obviously Dormhold would be the second. But Dormhold is also not very efficient on offense. They take a lot of turns to kill something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just seeing that a lot at the top to beat teams. But the hybrids that I'm seeing more are the ones I sent you in the second picture.
Oh, let's take a look at that. Hold on here. These two, you've got Weapon X with Shang-Chi, and then you've got the Infinity Watch with Dormammu.
Yeah. So the top one is to show you why you don't leave unlimited on defense without a taunter, because that first team will literally just walk over a regular unlimited team.
Okay.
You literally just AB block Rogue, and then Shang will literally wipe the floor. And then by the time he gets us, and then Omega will go a second time and almost kill everybody. if they're not
Okay.
already dead.
Okay. Cool.
And, then
Oh,
the bottom team will outlast Darkhold. So you can take that into Darkhold and win. And so you're seeing, like, you see how I have Unlimited and Darkhold on defense because I have these two to counter them.
I see. Okay. So what you're telling me from all this is that when I complain that Dormammu is becoming less and less relevant, you're showing me that I am absolutely wrong as usual.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, because we're using Dormammu in the Mystic lanes currently, and we're using him in Crucible for sure. That's obvious. You've shown me he is absolutely critical for high-end Crucible play. In War, we can get around him because nobody really cares about War so much. You don't have to be on a winning alliance unless you want to be, and then he's important. But he's not necessary because War isn't necessary. And I don't see anywhere else in the game where I need him for anything. Especially in Arena, I myself am proving that you don't need to have him for defense. You just have to get in there and do your 5 attacks. Ever since the streak thing came out, a lot of people aren't doing 5 attacks, and I'm able to climb in the ranks and stay in the top 10. It just doesn't hold as well as anybody else. But it looks like Crucible, I am going to have to build him. How high do I need to build him? Do I need to take him to gear tier 17? Is that important?
no, he's perfectly fine at 15. Because he does all the things you need him to do, which is the biggest thing is that he takes a good team and makes them better.
Okay.
So, like I watched, that was already kind of falling off. He's making them, big enough to beat the top meta in the game right now.
I see.
But he's not doing that alone, in the sense that because he's so strong.
Okay.
His ult is really powerful, and that makes him tricky on defense inside the skill battery, because if his ult goes off, he can wipe the floor. But on the Arena thing, I would be really worried about Red Hulk being in with the trio and Dormammu. I don't know how you're going to beat that without mirroring it with a Dormammu.
Oh, you think it's going to be it's going to be the 3 horsemen plus Dormammu and who else?
The easiest guess would either be Red Guardian for the pre-taunt, or you would have or Emma for the speed.
Yeah.
And then the speed will help you get through. So Red Hulk will remove a revive. So what you're probably going to do is tunnel down MLF.
Mm-hmm.
Take off her revive and then tunnel her down. And that's how you beat the mirror.
Yeah. Well, shucks. Looks like Dormammu is the nitrous to your hot rod, so I am going to have to redouble my efforts in DD5 and go ahead and get him unlocked, I guess. Me and the wife are racing to make that happen here soon, but we're waiting for Red Hulk because we don't want to waste the teal gear, as teal gear is so incredibly valuable for so many different things now. Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about before I let you
go? No. Do we want to... I think we're good. I think I can't think of anything else.
Okay, well, this has been enlightening for me, and I hope people enjoy the video too. Jgiusti, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to be bringing you on again and bending your ear for more questions, because I need the people who know more than me to help me out. So I appreciate it. Thank you.